Hey everyone, and welcome. You are Toonbink, you are early, but you're right on time too, which is great, and thank you very much for coming on to this one. And Watermelon says, going to listen to Kings of Leon's Sex on Fire to max level Sapphire. Thank you very much, Watermelon. Yeah, welcome guys. It's another kind of late stream, but due to time with trying to balance everything, I guess it's only some of the time that I get. So thank you all for joining. I'm just going to be like continuing on with roughly what my level is, and kind of going through more about what it is I'm trying to do. The stealth level, I haven't progressed much just due to some technical issues and also time issues. And sub buddy. So thank you again all for joining me. As you can see, I'm trying to grow this pitiful mustache. Fun fact, I go really ginger on the beard, but despite my hair being very dark brown, got that ginger in me. I blame my grandfather for that one. But trying to grow a little mustache for this quarantine fun. So yeah, it's so Daniel mate, nice to see you on here too, buddy. So yeah, I thought we'd go try to do some stuff, and I'll break down a little bit more. I'm doing obviously answer your questions. If you have anything, please just hit me up, ask the questions. Come look, hey buddy, you know, I'm here to answer any LD questions that I can with you. So a little fun fact for what we're going to try and do today. I haven't built this on my document. I don't know how well you guys see this, but essentially I'm just making like a little starting area for the player, and see where we can kind of go with it. This here is going to lead on to the warehouse, which we spoke about in the last stream, and we're going to kind of breaking that down, like towards the starting point, the feel that we're going for, the kind of setup that we're after. Tan mate, if I could grow my beard, I would, but it gets a bit patchy, and like I said, when you ginger as well, that doesn't match up top here. You look very weird. So, but I still got my head of hair at this point. I'm sure I'm going to go bald at some point. So it's it's taking everything that I can right now and appreciating it what I have. So for those wondering, I'm listening to The Midnight, their album called Endless Summer. I absolutely love The Midnight. I've been really on their music recently. So if you do like it, if it's too loud, please let me know in the comments, because I'm always iffy in terms of levels. So let's kind of go through a little bit what I've gone through from last time then, shall we? So, yeah, too quiet. I might turn it up then. Okay. Okay, let's keep it there, because I don't obviously want to talk too loud for the neighbours, because I don't want to wake them up, as I'm sure they have their need for sleep as well, so I've got to respect people. So, hey Pi, it is some level design. Brandon Lee, The Midnight, you know who it is. So yeah, let's kind of break down a bit more on this, because last time I just had the map for it. Oh, actually I have something I actually want to go through as well. Let me download this. Let's get this downloaded. Hold on, team. Excuse me. Okay, awesome. Yep. Okay. There we go. Actually, let's gonna break this down a little bit more for us to even see more with regarding. I talked about PureRef last time and also how I've been using it. So let's just break this down a little bit more. So I originally grabbed all the reference images I had. They're all around here. But originally I grabbed them all over here, just so I could see them. And then this is when I started to actually dissect them and kind of go through like what was important for me. I found this really useful to go through it, and you're damn right, PureRef is brilliant. So if you haven't, donate to them. It's great. Pi, you asked me, is this hard to practice? In terms of what are you referring to? Is it hard to practice level design or streaming or listening to The Midnight? I haven't practiced. I have not practiced dancing in a long time, so I'm probably not a good dancer anymore. All right, so yeah. my plan was to start to break it down. Now we talked about reference here, but you can see the kind of clean cut that I was going for this one. Went through these kind of really clean looking slates, the openings here as well, which I absolutely love, and kind of these indents too. So you can start to see that I was actually trying to start to put things together. Now in here you can't see it great, but you see there is these stairs leading up the side of the building. I'm talking to the mic, not into my hand, but you can see there's these stairs leading all the way up, right? So I knew that was some gameplay that I wanted. I loved the look of these numbers above. I knew I wasn't going to have storage that leading up to 60, but I liked that, and I liked how I could combine that with this here. Now if you actually look here correctly, this is a really nice detail for it. So if you look, this side's really thin, and it's because there's windows here showing that there's actually on the higher floor, it's indented a bit. So this doesn't actually match all the way there, which I liked, which is where I took inspiration for the second floor there. And you can see that there seems to be a fire exit because you see windows in this image here. So that's how I thought I would combine this leading up to the fire escape, right? Which is brilliant in terms of adding different gameplay. It's the same reason I've got this here to inspire me with different gameplay mechanics for it. So it's that there. I then went on to the different blueprints. Again, blueprints are a great way to help you create something very quickly and also like expand on it really rapidly. You can see here we've taken note from all this. Top-down views kind of also helped me understand meeting rooms, office. This looks like there wouldn't be anything there. Stairs, kitchen, all of these letting me know what I need to add to make this place look believable too. Similar thing here, loading, lounge for the workers, excuse me, offices, toilets, and all of that too. So I thought it was a really, really nice one for it. I'd say what's been really interesting for me personally, because you see they've got a men's and a women's. In Poland, I noticed a lot that there's more unisex bathrooms. I've actually been adding more and more of that into some of my like personal work, which I need to kind of just cut that out. Not because there's anything wrong with it, but just it diversifies it. It depends where you're building it, right? Like if this was in the States or in the UK, you're more than likely to find 2 bathrooms. But over here, I find interest like even when I've gone out clubbing, being in the same queue, mixed genders is something I didn't experience, So again, just showing how different cultures have different things in terms of bathrooms, apparently. So, yeah. And then I went in and grabbed some references for interiors. I liked this open space here, really nice. So again, I just want to say that, as you see, I put all of my images and then I start to pick, choose, combine, and see what is the best one for me. So that's kind of where I went with that one. So that's, I think that I recommend, and a lot of people do use PureRef, and I think it is very good. And that's what I liked about it the most, is I could keep it all separate sections that I want, but I'll keep it on one page. So Pi asks, is it hard to find times price level design? Yes, I think so. I think that's why my levels that you see me make tends to be much smaller, just due to time than anything. I don't always get enough time as I would to make these more big and bombastic. Like I see Jack on Twitter, Level Designer and TT, doing amazing work on a Last of Us inspired level. Like he's going for it, making it really cool, very large space, and selling the theme. It looks fantastic. But for me, right now, I don't have as much time, especially keeping on the podcast as well. Obviously doing these, I like to do more of these in work too. So it's all quite a lot, and I'm still writing the book at the minute as well. So hello, Jack. So there's a lot of stuff going on, probably more stuff than I should have actually done. But hey ho, I think it's important to be doing this stuff where I can. Like I've been updating my portfolio too, because it's been a while since I've had a chance to actually update it. So for me, getting a chance to do these things, I think is super important. And like I would like to be further along in certain things, but even I always think of it like this: if I can make a really good small level, that's still as good as making a big bombastic level, you know, because I can still show you what I can do. Like that art gallery, I know it's the last thing I made personally, but I'm still proud of that. I know it's not perfect. I know there's things that can be improved. I know all of this. I'm not saying I don't welcome feedback, I do. I'm just saying, though, that small space, I think, turned out really well. And we've got some really cool stuff, you know, coming over to it. So, yeah, as you say, quality over size. Dan, you ask, what is the duration of this level? I want to say like 8 to 10 minutes in total. Roughly around that kind of point is where I'm going with. So, with regard to the next point, I started to add more kind of a plan on what's going to happen here. Now, we can start to see that I've added some enemies and kind of go through what to do here. What I want to do is this stealth level. Now, the player could try actually take out, say, 2 of these enemies here, which could lead to a third. But I'm trying to deter that with it being a stealth mission. So by having more enemies, it kind of pushes the player over to this side. Now, I don't know if I'm going to keep the key on this enemy, which unlocks the fire exit up there. I don't know if I'm going to keep it on there or go somewhere else yet. I'm going to experiment with kind of where I'm going to place that one. But again, by having less enemies and this one also on the move, rather these two being static, meaning they're stiff, it's like its own enemy barrier. People aren't going to come in as much. But by having this one moving, it provides a window of opportunity for players to go around and escape. Now there is obviously 3 ways in. You've got here, there, if you want to feel lucky. If you're able to get the key, as I said, I don't know if I'm going to stick it with this guy yet, then you can unlock and skip this entire floor. But the main route will be coming in and coming through the car park onto the loading bay and making your way up the stairs. So this is roughly what we're going for with it. So yeah, that's kind of the aim for this now. So you can kind of see there's more of a design. And with the... So you see I can really... Oops. Real inspiration here. Like I said, with it being smaller. With this here. So this is actually... There's less footprint on the upper level than before, just because I liked that idea. I think one of the things that I'm going for is you're going to start off higher, we come down, we go further down, and then the space starts to get narrower. And so when you're getting further in, you start to see more of kind of a contrast of not only starting up top, moving down, so also like you start to feel smaller, but also the space getting smaller around you to emphasize this stealth kind of feeling that you're a fish out of the water. So this kind of thing that I'm thinking about too with it all. So let's go to questions because I haven't said hi to a few people. Jonathan says, I wish I could watch in class now. I'll check it out later. No worries, Jonathan, mate. This will be up for everyone to check out. Andrew, hello to you, my friend. Well, the Star Wars stuff you linked before looked basic, but you could tell there wasn't much need. So this is a different thing with it, right? And what's up to that guy you hate? That's a great name. It depends, right? Because some places want more detail than other. It depends on the game. There isn't really a right or wrong answer in terms of the depth that you go to, because it's more about like, 1, what are you trying to show? And 2, what is it that the company is looking for as well? Because sometimes you need to have a bit more detail to sell the overall narrative. Like for me, for example, I've added these here to help show that this is a working desk. Now I'm going to change these out for a different prop later, but it still helps to sell that of the space too. And the reason for that is because I want people to know that there are going to be props here. I want to get the sizing right for it. And that might not be something that we saw in the level design example, but I think the thing that I really like from, like, there's a contrast, right? I love that they got to focus more on the gameplay for it, but I also like the fact that I can help sell a narrative. So when, say for example, I'm away on holiday, just an example, and the artist is coming to move on, then they can take a look at this and they'll roughly have an idea, because I'll start to have blocked it out and have it kind of added up in terms of the context of the space. So it depends. Like I said, some places want more detail in the level design, some places don't. It's just up to the company, you know, and for me, I try to add it because also I know I don't think there's going to be an artist that will come do an art pass on this. So that way, like I said, I bring something to to try and show my artistic vision through by, you know, adding more of a context to it. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm going with it as well, peeps. Do we have any more questions before I start just blocking stuff out? This is one of my favorite songs. So here's the thing, right? One thing I want to show you that I'm trying to do right now, so you can all kind of go with. So what I want to start with is the player's going to start here. Ooh, I'm going to remove that cover. But from here, we're going to see to this window. We're going to be able to look down and see where the warehouse is, right? So we can see that we're coming from a higher vantage point, so it's almost like lowered down here. And what I want to do is have some props, like maybe there's equipments for the stealth mission, like a gun, walkie-talkies, these kind of gameplay things here. Gameplay elements here. The gameplay things, that's not helpful to anybody. Gameplay elements here. And so by having these props lined up here and having more space open here, then we'll come round, right? Now, I haven't decided if I need to remove the cover off these, and I think I actually want to pull this back one. But I'm going to block up this route. Maybe I haven't decided. Maybe I add it to help with putting in loot for exploration. But what I'm going to have here, because this is a car park, so as soon as we come in, there's going to be a car parked here. So that way, and the car's pointing in this direction, and because we have to turn here, it keeps players focusing on here. Now, some people could argue that doing this 180 on yourself, because it is just a U-turn like that maybe it's not actually a nice one. So I want to experiment, but what I like about it is it's selling the space, right? From here, we see the objective, we get a context with props helping to, you know, show what the player needs. We come around, we sell spaces. I'm going to change some of these to more like, because this is a generator room, and what's going to be behind here is basically all these kind of big generators that would be fenced off from the other side. So that way we sell a bit more of the space to it, and come here, we see that this would be the van that we've been parked up at, again selling the narrative, and then we'd have like, what we're going to have is like a wall that's broken down here, just hinting you need to come down this way. So that's roughly it. So it sets the scene, helps contextualize, and all that there. So that's what the aim currently is with the mission. So, and you asked, do you suggest going with Maya or max flow design? So mate, I don't do any level design through modeling. The kits, I just block it out in an editor. I know some companies do, which is perfectly fine, perfectly normal. Again, different companies have different processes. But for me, I just use that with an editor just because it's easier for me to jump in, as you just saw, quickly and play, rather with putting it in Maya and then importing is another process, right? So that's why I go for this kind of element, is what I say. In terms of Maya or Max, I don't know which is better. My thing is it's not always about the editor, it's about the quality of the level that you make. So focus on making sure that you bring that beautiful quality to your work, mate, because no matter what, as long as the levels are good, they're going to look at that and see and review that rather than your than the software you use. Because once you know one software, it's easy to kind of get trained in another software in like a month or two. So focus on building quality levels and go with the one that you're most comfortable with. So, okay. I said, if you do have questions, people, please just add them up for me. I'm going to so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make a road barrier, so have this up where the truck is, so again can show that there isn't any space, that this is visually blocked. have some friendly NPCs around the truck, so that way it just helps to show that this is the home base, shall we say. So let's get a little bit closer so I don't damage my back team. Put it back there. And then we rotate this up here. Maybe we go a little bit higher. So again, it just looks like a road barrier coming in. Let's move that over to the left a little bit. Okay, coolio. And let's just move that in by 1. And prefab, go and just grab some cubes. The pivots off here too, so try and make sure when you're creating pivots, prefab, sorry, that the pivot is 0, 0. As you can see, I've kind of done myself over by that, just wasting good time for all of us. Hey, Blue Rain. He says, oh, sorry, okay, so we've actually got a few questions to go from here. Angie goes, fair, from what you've seen through your experience years, would you have your colleagues, what do you prefer using? I started learning Mac because I think it depends where you are. States seem to be more focused on my own Macs, where I am, whether it be in Poland or UK, they are fine with you using editors. So that's what I use, and as I said, I know other companies in the UK that do use my own Macs as well. As I said, it's more about how the company runs. And as I said to you before, mate, like I would focus more on something you like, something you know you can enjoy, and then you can kind of make levels with. Because Maya, Max, Unity, Unreal don't make good levels for you. It's on you to do so. So again, that's all I'll really say on that one. Any further, buddy? Okay. Jack Jake asks, what package do I use? So I'm using for the Blockout kit. It's called Blockout. It's free on Unity, and I've made my own little prefabs out of it just to help me combine. Not only that, but this is the third-person cover shooter, I believe it's called, which is on Unity. So I've gone in and made prefabs to match the correct scale of height of what I want. So that's what I've been doing, combining that one there. So yeah, that's what I'm combining for today with. Okay. Now, why am I not just grabbing more than just one? There we go. I tell you what, it's funny when you're trying to build a level in front of people, because I swear it's the most nerve-wracking thing. I couldn't imagine trying to actually work like this with, like, say, my boss or my peers looking over my shoulder, which I think is always just funny to imagine when I'm doing this. I'm like, oh, they're probably thinking, what am I doing? You know? So yeah. So Blue Rain, you ask, hello there, I'm working on a level for a horror game, playtesting feedback are okay. Not something staggering. Do you have any advice for the genre? It's first person, by the way. I've never done a horror game, so to sit here and try to pretend like I know the answers for horror, I don't, mate. I think the big thing, Brain's watching and judging, I appreciate it, mate. Yeah, in terms of horror, I think what I would be after is trying to mess with the size of space, right? So, for example, Daniel will know this because, for those of you who don't know, to help support the podcast and all this, I have a Patreon, and one of the tiers is in which, oh, why is everything going wrong for me, guys? Why does the world hate me? Why do you There we go. Anyway, so one of the things that I try to do with it all is I try to think about how, so the Patreon helps with that. And one of the things I was talking about with Daniel and others who are part of the Patreon, especially the mentor tier, is try to get your metrics right. So I know, for example, 2 is the minimum here. Before he feels crowded, he starts to take cover because of the cover rails I've got on this as well. But I know for the main space, 4 is what feels more comfortable, and I can have one enemy in here. So by getting your metrics for your horror, you can start to experiment, expand, take away, and do all this cool work here for a team. So I think that's one way that I would experiment with level design. It depends obviously on the type of horror. Is it like a horror gore, more like outstanding, or is it a thriller like the Silent Hill series? It's really kind of, those come a big part. So if I don't really know enough, 1 about the genre, but 2 about your project to really kind of help. So I apologize for that one, buddy. I really do. Okay, going back to the work, shall we? So I'm just making a wall. I'm going to put like chain link fence here to kind of just, actually, because I'm going to have some props that the player can see. Let's just expand this out just by a little bit more. Like I said, the player might not be able to get here. It's just giving that illusion of space. If you haven't listened to that episode of the podcast, check it out, in which I talk about how to make a space feel larger than what it actually is. And I do that by creating spaces which the player can see but can't reach to. So that's one that I recommend. Andrew says, is this video going to remain on the channel after stream? Yes, it is, buddy. Especially on YouTube, it remains permanent. On Twitch, though, it only remains for 14 days, and it'll be on my Twitter as well. So there's multiple sources where you'll be able to get this, buddy, so don't worry. And honestly, I'll be wrapping up in about like 10 minutes because it's almost 1 a.m. So I need to go and get a good night's sleep while I can. So that's what I need to crack on with. Okay. Any more questions? Because I'm actually going to start wrapping things up, because I said I want to go to bed and get some sleep. So if you have any questions, please ask them now, as you're obviously more than welcome to ask them. I actually need to try putting a car here. Okay, so I spoke about that gap in the wall. We're gonna have it around here. So again, as soon as the player turns the corner, they instantly have visual guidance on where they need to go. Let's actually set this up a bit better though. Where we have prefabs, and remember, set your prefabs route to 0, 0. Otherwise, you do that, it ends up being a pain in the backside. Hey up, mate. I'm all good, Mr. Irate Gaming. I imagine that's what it says. I'm not down with the lingo, but I'm good, buddy. How are you? So, okay. Thank you very much, Andrew. Looking forward to that. Pie Flavor asks, what's the best way to start a level? Just going through what we spoke about in the previous episode, guys, where you break things down into the document, breaking down the objectives, the narrative, understanding, getting all information you need for this, breaking down the beats, paper design, getting your references, planning. That's the best way to start it. If you don't start it this way, it can cause you issues later. So really do pay attention to that. It's a very important phase that, I recommend to everyone. because if you don't have that, you're going to cause problems for yourself later. That's for sure. So, actually, let's. Okay. So again, I'm just trying to make it look like this wall has been broken down. We can sell why it's been broken down soon. Yep. So yeah, that's how I recommend is do your research, do your planning, paper design. That's how you should start a level, always. Tyler, you ask, in what ways have you had to or may need to tackle creative problem solving? Tyler, my friend, I actually answered this question in the Q&A that will come out this month. So I did get your question. It's on there. That'll be coming out later this month on the podcast. So won't be, giving it away too much. Thank you very much. I appreciate positive vibes from good old Teesside, my old university. So always good to hear from fellow alumni and great people down that route. Okay, let's go with this kind of. All right, so we're breaking that down. I'm going to put down some like yellow tarp for this as well. So we'll go for that one to there. Blue Rain, I'm sorry I couldn't help more, mate. Honestly, I don't want to just fire random answers out to you until I know more info, and I don't feel it's right to give you that without, like I said, giving you firstly getting proper information myself to make actually well-informed and educated feedback and choices there, mate. Okay. And I've already botched that up. Make sure you stick to the grid, people. That helps a lot too. As you can see, I'm snapping to the grid as well because it will make my artists happy. Alright. Now we do have some other things in here just to help me. Okay. So maybe, for example, we have this van opening up here. And, right, I just want to give this up because I would normally do blockout vans, but just because it's helping to sell a scene, that I can use like the simple props like this, right? Obviously try and make sure that to a certain scale. Let's jump in, make sure it doesn't look ridiculous against our character. So come down. Okay, that looks pretty reasonable on our character, so I think it's fine for it there. So yeah, always make sure that the props you're using are in similar metrics, alright guys? Really want to drive that home for you all. Jordan Best. Yeah, glad to have you here, mate. He says, awesome, caught you streaming. What's up, man? Love the podcast. They get me itching for a bit of personality. Well, Jordan, buddy, I hope you do get a chance to get involved and do some personality because I love seeing people's work. I love seeing how people make stuff. I'm always wanting to learn. So the fact that, if this inspires people to get out and make some more level design, I love that. That's what I want. That's what the channel's for. That's what the streams are for. So the Patreon's for, to help everyone get better as level design, right? And if we put this here, we'll put some lights too to kind of highlight where someone should go, or maybe actually. Okay, I'll hold off, but I do want to increase the size just a smidge, just because right now I think it's going to be a little bit tight, and it's okay to have some exploration or just space to make it feel a little bit better, team. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, and this is another thing, right? I want to show you what I've got on the 2D map too. Let's go through this. Okay. So this here, I hope you can see. All right, this here is that truck. Let me just move that down. Is this truck here? Now, let's try just get. Sorry, it's not actually on my computer scene. But if you look here, I originally started with, I think it's in total, I think it was about 8 meters there. But just because I've got rough meters estimates in terms of spacing for this doesn't mean that I'm restricted to what you see here. Like I said, this is a kind of a suggestion, recommendation of roughly what you want to go for, and then I put it in, I see how it feels, and if I feel it needs to be bigger, smaller, then I go with that. I think that's a big, important element. I actually want to make that a little bit smaller, actually, now. Okay. Yeah, okay. Because this here would be a car park, I'm going to put the markings on the floor to do the car park on it as well, just to kind of sell it a bit more. That's the plan with it too, so that's what we're going to go. All of this is actually going to be for the course on the XYZ school over in Russia. They're doing an online course. This stuff is actually set up for that. They've been kind enough to let me kind of stream my kind of process though, so I think it's really nice of them. Shout out to them, because this will kind of be go for their stuff. Now, anyone who's actually taking the course and looking at this will be different to what you use. That's just come down to timing. What I have, they have a phenomenal kit for everyone who's on that course to use. I'm just using this because, again, timing with my multiple projects is not time friendly, so that's all. So we're gonna put that here, and let's just flip this. Round 2. Okay. Cool. Anyone got any more questions though, peeps? Anything, please, like I say, just ask, because I'm sure it's not that riveting to watch me pull funny faces as I make levels, you know. Okay. Do I prefer Unity or Unreal 4? I don't really have a preference. I think they're both amazing tools. The only reason I'm using Unity is because the fact that, well, one, they have this blockout kit, which is done by Bruce Slater, another former T-side student, and which I really like. I think Unreal has some, but this one's really nice, like in terms of how you'd work actually in a professional space. So I like that a lot. I'm going to need to actually pull this out a bit now that I'm looking at it. Yeah, I'm going to need to pull this out actually, because if I... Sorry, I'm going to answer your question in a second, but I just noticed. If we... Yeah, that would be too tight. That's another thing, guys. Make sure when you're testing your metrics that you actually see if things fit too. So we've just noted there that actually wouldn't fix. Say if they're... Because we've got some generators. Say they need to drive in to fix something. They couldn't do that. So that's why we need to test, expand stuff out and experiment with it, right? Anyway. So I did the CGMA course with MSHATS and Patrick as well, and what I really liked about it is they give you kind of a mini series from this. Yes, Bruce from Radforge. Radforge is the one who actually made this kit, but they gave you this kit here, which got me used to it when I was doing the course. So I just took that, ran with it, and kind of just went from that direction, to be honest with you. So I did like the art gallery last year, and I think with that in mind, I kind of just kept. We'll have a look at this later. I kind of just kept this and wanted to build on it. Like I've got a whole. Let's just save scene for a second. I got a whole gym of assets used here, so I'm going to be using these moving forward. and adding anything I make in that scene to this as well, so I can start to accumulate different kind of LD props throughout my time, to then just allows me to kind of keep moving forward. And anything that's a third person cover base, then I can just build on it really, really quickly and keep making things quicker, better, and build on my own kind of library to eventually allow me to do quicker blockouts moving forward. So that's where you can kind of see my plan is to help also with me with time too. So we're going to expand this out by another 4 meters, right? Okay, I actually want to talk about the design of this building too. In a second, let's just move everything so I can test it all. What was I saying? So yeah, the design of the building also I wanted to focus on something that looked rather unique in terms of it's not just a flat square, but it added a little bit of guidance to it by having, if you come here, maybe there's someone you could talk to get information. We turn around and we again see that this is helping to lead over here. I like the overhang too. I'm going to add a little antenna or something on top for it. So that's the plan. So yeah, even such small things, team, you can just build on it, help make it better as much as you can and make it visually interesting for it. Okay. Let's now see how this truck would actually drive through. Plenty of space. Let's actually just give it a couple more meters just for safekeeping. That's on the floor. Okay, fantastic. So let's keep cracking on. So yeah, you'll notice, like I said, I have an idea in terms of metrics of what I might make a level at, but then we go through, we add in props, we realise that it doesn't actually work with the space or with the props that we have. So always adapting, team, always going through this one. Okay. Anyone else got any more questions? Because I am going to start to slowly wrap this up soon. Let's try 3. Just gives it a little bit more of a punch. So we go from there. Tell you what, I've been watching that Michael Jordan documentary on Netflix. I do like basketball, but I obviously missed the Jordan era due to the fact that I was only born in '92, which I think is when he won his 2nd or 3rd championship. But it's a very good watch if you like it. Basketball, also competitiveness, the mind of, well, I guess also understanding how big he was as a star. I think that's always fascinating, because this is time before social media, you know, so yes. Actually, here's a good question for you all. Is there anything you want to ask me about my book? Maybe we can talk about that, because as I said, we'll be wrapping up soon, so let's just have a little discussion about it. So any questions you might want to ask me about my book, here is the time, team. Please take advantage of it. Nothing. Okay, that makes me feel more like a failure with my becoming a author. Oh, team, brilliant. Okay. Let's actually grab you. Let's just see it. So that way. Just take this here. Divide up the space a tad more. So we have the question, there we go. We have the question, just out of curiosity, did you do a placement year whilst at uni? Yes, I did, mate. I did a placement year at a mobile studio called Fog Media. I don't know if they're still going, but yes, I think I was there's only 2 designers in that year that actually got placements. Me and another designer named Joseph Garbutt, who went to Microsoft. He didn't do games though, he did more like user interface again. So yes, I did. I actually, if you can get a placement, I cannot recommend that strongly enough, because we need to, it'll just help you build a better portfolio, make you stand out, and also give you a better chance of getting a job at the end. So yes. Okay team, I'm going to start to now wrap this up. So we've been on for about an hour, or just shy of an hour. Yeah, I guess we'll give like 5 more minutes for questions. I'm just going to save this. I know what I'm going to do, so next time you see this, this is going to be propped out a little bit more. We're going to be moving further down and getting closer to the actual warehouse itself, so I'm excited. I think it's funny looking at this and I'm just like, wow, people must not think this is impressive, but what's got in the head, what's on the design, it's going to be all really cool stuff work there, team, so I'm excited for it, very excited. Okay, the rate gaming goes, I'm just about to go into 3rd year, and with virus no-go doing it. Don't worry, if you can't do it, it's not on you, you know what I mean? Who would have expected COVID, so no one's going to hold it against you. Now, the best thing I can advise then is during your summer, because the reason it also helps is everyone's portfolio in university is very similar looking, so you need to do stuff to help make it feel less similar. So try create more portfolio levels for that, even if they're small levels, something like that. Now if you do want to know more about this, actually, mate, on the Patreon level design lobby on Wednesday, we're doing another level design challenge. For those who don't know, level design challenges, it's on the level $5 tier, in which I set a level for you to create. This can take as long as you wish, but I give you a brief about it, what is it you need to create, then you'll go off, create it, and I've seen some people make some great work, go off from the community, and they add it to their portfolio. So again, just building your portfolio, mate, is the best that you can do. There's so much more information about level design versus when I was actually at university, so I have some fun with that and really build and hammer home on that portfolio there. Okay, do we have any more questions before I head on off to Betty Buy's team? Okay. And give it a couple more minutes, drink some water, stay hydrated. Okay, everyone. With that now done, and I've said I'm going to wrap this up like 17 times, let's actually wrap it up. Alright, everyone, I hope you're safe. I hope you're staying sane. Jordan Best, do you give any one-on-one consultation? Yes, there is only 2 remaining spots for the consultation tier right now, Jordan. So if you want one, jump on in. That's level 50 tier, and we tailor an entire program for you. So some people just want to do it for their portfolio, other ones want to ask questions, others want to help build a portfolio piece. we offered that, and as I said, there's only 2 remaining spots. So if you want in, jump on ASAP, because they do tend to sell out, and they tend to stay sold out for at least 3 to 4 months. So make sure you get a chance to come up on that one. Array Gaming, I'm working on a portfolio piece and starting my final year project. Also, I'm also an environment artist, but super level design. Yes, mate, you're perfect. I think the fact that you have an interest in level design is awesome. So keep up that passion for it. So yeah. All right, peeps. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm gonna try to do these slightly earlier, just because staying up to 1 a.m. isn't something I'm super happy with. Yeah, well, I mean, I'll regret it tomorrow. But stay safe. Try to stay healthy, everyone. Trust me. Like I went through my fat stage in quarantine. I've got enough on me. But yeah, make sure you obviously stay healthy, because that's how you beat this, by being healthy, eating right, and working out. It boosts that immune system. All right, everyone, take it easy. I'll catch you all next time.